Restarting the universe was the boldest decision Araki had ever made. At first glance, it looked like he had run out of ideas. In reality, it was the start of a new peak and the biggest gamble of his entire manga career. Today, let's break down the genius behind Araki's decision to reboot the JOJO universe. Reason 1. The past had become a burden. The first reason is simple. The legacy built across parts 1 through 6 had become too heavy. As everyone knows, the Joestar bloodline is the heart of the JOJO series. But by part 6, the limitations of that structure were impossible to ignore. The story of the Joestar direct descendants was reaching its natural end. More importantly, the Joestar family tree had stretched from Britain to Japan and then to the United States. It became so complicated that fans practically needed a family chart just to keep track of everyone. The relationships had grown bloated and unwieldy. At the same time, Araki's work has always been grounded in a strong sense of era and realism. His ideas draw heavily from real history and culture. Part 6, released in 2000, was already set in the year 2011. If the story were pushed even further into the future, away from the world he understood best, that unique sense of realism could easily disappear. So restarting the universe became the most effective solution. It allowed Araki to cut away the old bloodlines and timelines entirely and create freely on a completely blank slate. Reason 2. Stand battles were losing control. The second reason lies in the stand system itself. Stands, as manifestations of the human spirit, can possess all kinds of bizarre and creative abilities. This was originally one of JOJO's greatest strengths, but as the series went on and the story aimed to become more shocking and ambitious, some stand abilities began to stretch logic to the breaking point. Take Bohemian Rhapsody, for example. It pulls fictional characters directly into reality. Or Weather Report, which functions more like an elemental god than a stand. This led to extreme power inflation. In many cases, battles were resolved by sudden inspiration alone, with little sense of tactical back and forth. As a result, readers stopped feeling tension. They were no longer asking how the fight would unfold, only how the villain would be defeated. At the same time, the focus shifted entirely to stand versus stand combat, and people gradually forgot a key premise. Stand users are still ordinary humans. Early JOJO battles often relied on environment, improvisation, and even ordinary weapons. Those moments became increasingly rare. Instead, fights turned into pure stand clashes. Araki likely realized that if this continued, combat would grow repetitive and flat. So, the universe reboot became a chance to reset the rules. In Steel Ball Run, this change is obvious. Stand abilities remain strange and creative, but their power and range are far more clearly defined. At the same time, marksmanship, horsemanship, and rotation techniques reminiscent of Ripple are elevated to the same level of importance as stands. Combat once again becomes a test of skill and willpower, and because of that, it becomes far more engaging. Reason 3. Araki wanted something new. The third reason is more personal. Araki wanted to draw something new. He's an artist with broad interests, constantly drawing inspiration from different cultures. After decades of serialization, his desire to tell an American Western story grew stronger and stronger. The wilderness, the journey, the cowboy spirit, these themes align perfectly with the masculine romanticism that has always defined JOJO, but forcing a full Western narrative into the old JOJO universe, a world that had evolved from 19th century Britain to modern America, was nearly impossible. It would have completely disrupted the existing continuity. So, restarting the universe and creating a brand new 19th century American West became the cleanest solution. In this new world, Araki could freely merge horse racing, Native American culture, and Western mythology with the concept of stands, creating a JOJO-style Western road epic. Unlike anything before, this wasn't just a change in setting. The entire tone and identity of the series was reborn. A second chance at old dreams. There may also have been lingering regrets about the old universe. JOJO didn't truly explode in popularity until stands were introduced in Part 3. Araki may have wondered, what if stands had existed in Jonathan Joestar's era? Or what if a young Joseph could return as a protagonist, this time as a stand user? In that sense, the new universe becomes a reimagining of the old one, a way to explore paths that were once impossible. Johnny Joestar may share the Joestar name, but his fate is nothing like that of the original Jonathan Joestar. He walks a far darker and more painful heroic path. And the new universe's Higashikata Josuke is nothing like the everyday life of Morio in Part 4. His story blends mystery, romance, and biological horror into something far more complex. In the end, Araki Hirohiko's decision to restart the universe at the conclusion of Stone Ocean was not an impulsive choice. It was a carefully planned reset and the beginning of JoJo's next evolution.